What's up, everybody? Jackson here today, as always, with my little brother Chubbs.
Hello, everyone.
And today we're bringing you our Warcraft 3 Reforged review. Now, this is gonna be so tricky, Chubbs. So here's the tricky part about this review is there's many moves that Blizzard and Activision and Warcraft 3 made that are unfucking acceptable and are indefensible. And the review bombing that has ensued, the zero point 0.2 out of 10, all of these things are a cause of their own actions. Now, is it warranted to give it a 0 out of 10? I don't believe so.
I think it's dishonest.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Is it dishonest or is it just here's the thing. So before we get going, let's start off with the big elephant in the room. And this is something Blizzard could have easily avoided, something they most definitely should have avoided, but they didn't, so they fucked up.
Yeah.
What they did is they took Warcraft 3, the original version of the game, and retroactively put it contained within the Warcraft 3 Reforged.
Yes.
Now, you don't get any of the new graphics, you don't get any of the new stuff, but you have to put up with all the new systems. The equivalent being Dark Souls Remastered comes out, and instead of just removing Prepare to Die from the storefront, fucking From Software and Bandamco take it and put it into the remaster so that now you don't get any of the new graphics, you don't get the Vamos bonfire, but you got to deal with invaders that have Estus.
Yeah.
And you got to deal with more invaders and more NPCs. You get all of that stuff,
Right.
which would be fucked up.
Yes.
Right? It's fucked up enough that these games and these companies, when they release a remaster, they pull the older version off the market to push consumers in the direction of their new product.
Yes.
Which is oftentimes more expensive, especially for a first-time buyer. Warcraft 3, I think, was going for $20 for the whole thing, kit and caboodle at one point, maybe 30. But either way, Warcraft Reforged, $30, okay? So I can understand them pulling it off the storefront, no longer making it available for purchase, because that's going to push people into the remaster. That's fine. You want to filter your player base into there. That's fine. But what you definitely 100% shouldn't have fucking done, Blizzard, is take Warcraft 3's initial version and put it into this game and then fucking change the world editor user agreement, change the ladder system, change the profile system, change the clan system. Basically what they did is unfucking precedented outside of a Bungie. And even with Bungie, it's arguable whether it's even comparable to how fucked up this is. Because this took a product that people had purchased many fucking years ago, many years ago, odds are, most people, and they were playing it online, campaign or custom campaigns, custom PvP games, custom maps. I mean, Defense of the Ancients, Dota, grew out of Warcraft 3 modding, okay? And in an effort to stop that sort of thing from happening, they've now changed the World Editor user agreement to basically say, whatever you make, doesn't matter, we own it.
We own everything.
Yeah. You take your original artwork, you create original textures, we don't give a fuck, they're ours now.
You create a new story for a campaign, that's ours.
Yeah,
we can use that.
Dude, it even goes into catchphrases.
Yeah.
If you create a popular catchphrase, we reserve the right to own that
we
shit.
own that.
We own it. We don't even reserve the right. We do own that shit. That's ours.
Yeah.
Not only that, you take this, people enjoy profiles because they like to make new profiles and see if they can get a better win-loss ratio, try to, get more wins, and also it's just fun to level anew and see the stats and do that. That's, a big appeal to the continuing online play, which I don't do. I never have done. I've never been into the competitive Warcraft 3 scene, never been in the competitive StarCraft, none of these games. I have always, you as well, Chubbs, we have always enjoyed these games for the campaign and the story and the cinematics and the awesome, way that Blizzard takes things and puts their own spin on it. And this Blizzard that released this product, the unfortunate thing is that some of these people were there from the original company in the original days. Most of those people are gone. But there's a lot of people who I personally could tell playing through this, looking at the updated graphics, looking at the updated character models, looking at the updated maps, everything just completely redone and retextured, and just it looks amazing. Some of these in-game character models are jaw-droppingly, like for instance the three demons that are, I can't remember their names. It's Mothras is one.
Mothras, Deathrock.
Yeah, Deathrock is one probably, and there's another. But the three, I remember back in the day, it was just one was blue, one was green, and one was red.
Yeah.
And that was the only distinguishable thing between them.
They
all look, the Dreadlords all look the same. And what they've done here is they've added like one that's fat. They've added one that has a beard.
Distinguishing features.
They look completely different from each other. I really appreciate that a lot of hard work went into this aspect of the game. And what is unfortunate is those people's hard work, because of business decisions made by the higher ups within Activision or Blizzard, whatever the fuck, it doesn't matter. It's the same monster now. But decisions made higher up took those people's efforts and made it a 0 out of 10 for a lot of people. A lot of people is looking at this game as a don't buy, get your refunds, justifiably so. Justifiably so. Like, especially if you're someone who was in it for the online PvP, online clans, cooperative PvP, 4v4s, shit like that with clans, other things that they've promised and they've completely cut away. On top of that, they mismarketed the fucking thing with the cutscenes at BlizzCon, which we were unaware of.
Yeah.
Like, the only thing me and Chubbs looked at pre-release of this shit, the only things I knew was the trailer that was the initial reveal trailer that it was happening, so that it was going to be Warcraft 3 reforged in new graphics, right?
Right.
I didn't pay attention.
And it shows some new camera angles on Arthas and a couple of different characters, but it also had the disclaimer of like, game isn't finished, it's in engine or testing or whatever.
Yeah, but this is more blatant than that. When they showed it at this latest BlizzCon, they showed a in-game cutscene, and there's a difference between cinematics and cutscenes within Warcraft 3 and all games, really. But a cutscene in this instance would be the two characters talking prior to a mission or just upon completion of a mission. And they showed a very more cinematic flair with the cutscenes, instead of it just being hovering over the two character models and seeing their faces pop up in a bubble with the script, classic Warcraft 3 style. Instead of that, it showed a more cinematic angle, dropping down, showing the faces of the characters, showing their backs as they walked away. It was definitely not at all what the fuck is represented in the fucking remaster. But it was marketed in such a way that it was, even if they have a disclaimer, the way that they showed that made it appear like they were doing that. And honestly, at the end of the day, I have no problem with the way it is, but I don't fucking see why you couldn't have done that.
Right.
Why you couldn't have had your camera zoom in on the characters' faces.
Get rid of the character bubble.
Get rid of the character bubble and just have the text down below and have a more cinematic angle drop down, because everything looks gorgeous. You can drop down and look at this shit zoomed in, and it's pretty.
Yeah. Seeing the amount of detail.
Good.
Oh yeah.
The artists here, the art department, have done a great fucking job of remastering the game in that aspect. It looks beautiful. It looks better than ever.
Right.
And it's sad because, like we were saying, that you could have done these things. I don't care that you didn't, but you shouldn't have led on that you were going to.
Right.
And then you let on that there's going to be clans, and then you let on that there's going to be a ladder system. You let on that the blah, 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 and it's all not in the game. So people demanding refunds are well within their right, and in my opinion, they should.
Oh yeah.
If that's a point of contention within their purchase, it's not in mine and yours, Chubbs.
No.
We were not aware of these things. We did not see these trailers or know about online competitive elements, the world editor user agreement. We're not looking at the Warcraft 3 for any of that shit. We're looking at it as one of our favorite fantasy worlds, one of our favorite entries within that world, and sort of the building blocks of my love for the story. I always loved Warcraft because I played Warcraft 2, but the story was not presented in as such a way as Warcraft 3. And I think that it stands the test of time. I just recently did a replay of the old version of Warcraft 3, and I had it's this interesting sort of thing when you're playing it through, and you're like I was able to get it in 1080, but you're playing it and you're like, man, this shit holds up. This shit holds up, and it does. Even now under these new graphics, like the way the gameplay is, the way the building and all of that, everything, the back and forth, the defense to the attack, you know, all of the siege, all of those gameplay elements are timeless in my opinion. They stand the test of time. This game, its story, it has universal elements of good and evil and moral grays. It shows you that oftentimes what can lead someone into becoming the biggest villain in the world is the desire to be the biggest hero in the world, and how that sort of thing can be twisted and used. It shows like the brilliance of a uncanny enemy, the Legion, and it shows that it like has a lesson there where be careful of the weapon you create, because it may at one point seek to destroy you, with the Scourge and the Ner'zhul and the Lich King.
Yeah.
It's got all of these amazing elements. The campaign, in my opinion, is just as good as it always was.
Oh, yeah.
And always will be.
Because it's not only that, but it's a huge chunk of content. Just the Reign of Chaos, which they bundled both of them together, which I like that. But I can see the complaints of not having it separated, because before, if you bought the Frozen Throne on top of Reign of Chaos, you could go straight into the DLC.
Yeah, well, you could pick too. And here's the thing is the rule set for Reign of Chaos in online PvP is completely removed.
Right.
You no longer have that option. You don't want to play with that with the Tomb of Relics that gives the Undead Death Knight an early advantage with the Necromantic fucking Rod. Who gives a fuck? You don't get that choice anymore.
Right.
Even though we've sold you this game upwards of 10 plus years ago, and we have now said, after all this time of you getting accustomed to the way that we let you play our game that you fucking purchased, we're gonna take that all away from you and say, no, you don't get to play it like that
Yeah,
anymore.
you can't do that.
This is unfucking precedented, and it's in-fucking excusable.
No.
And that's why
Yeah.
it's a tricky thing to review.
Oh, yeah.
Because me playing it, I'm like, damn, look at how good this all
And you're
looks.
playing through this campaign, and not only that, but there's a huge chunk of content through the custom games.
Yep.
You have entire campaigns and maps that were created by Blizzard on top of the different game modes.
And we're having no problem playing any of our custom matches offline. We were playing offline the first
Doing
day,
LAN.
couple of days, playing LAN matches.
Which LAN, they have
Teaming
already
up and beating the
stated
shit
was
out of
going to
it.
be a huge thing, which I am grateful of,
Yeah, it's
because
there.
the online was broken on
we
day
never
one.
were able to. Yeah.
And which is another thing that's inexcusable for fucking Blizzard. How long have they been maintaining the servers of World of Warcraft?
Yeah,
and
you'd think they'd have launch day snafus figured the fuck out.
yeah, especially because that's their moneymaker, is online all the time fucking games.
What I believe has happened at Blizzard, and I don't mean any offense to anybody working there. Just before I start, I want you to know that I know that this is a decision that the normal dudes on the floor had no fucking say over. This is not something any fucking gamer would ever institute into a game. This is nothing that any person who has one iota of fucking ethics, business ethics towards your customer would ever fucking do this. So I'm not talking, but here's my belief. I believe the Blizzard has gotten to the point where their art department is bigger than their any other department. And it's because Overwatch, a huge portion of content dropped into Overwatch is skins, art retextures, things like that. Yeah, cosmetics, views, things like that. And that's fine. I don't mind. And in my opinion, I think the Blizzard art team is great. Even on Overwatch, those cutscenes that I could give a fuck less about, they're well done. They look good.
Right.
You know what I mean? They serve the purpose that they're supposed to serve. Even the Hearthstone trailers. Yes,
yeah,
and I don't give a fuck
you
about
can appreciate
Hearthstone.
the art style, though.
Yeah, I don't give a shit about Heroes of the Storm, but all of the cutscenes for all of those games are pretty much on point. The Blizzard and the cutscenes in this game, the character redesigns and the remaster on the Reforged side of things graphically is fucking stupendous. But here's the problem. I think that Blizzard just put a lot of people who do that sort of thing on it, and limited the resources that they were funneling into it because they don't want to spend too much money on what is a safe sell, right? Especially when you take everyone's original purchase of Warcraft 3 and force them into fucking this thing now, where it's like, well, fuck, I gotta deal with all the updated new systems. I may as well benefit from the fucking graphics.
Yeah.
That's kind of what this fucking is.
That's the whole point.
You're taking a dump on people's a game that people have played and have loving memories with. That's why you're seeing 0 out of 10s.
Yeah, you're wiping over the original with this new coat of paint.
Now, do I think the game is a 0 out of 10? No, I don't.
Honestly, I'd like to go back to my earlier remark of saying it's dishonest, which, by the way, I still believe that, because keep in mind, a lot of these review bombs have been mentioning the art style and talking about how it's shoddy graphics and half-ass reskins and things like this. They're talking about how not adding new content is a bad thing. And there's a slew of bad, that they're talking about, which I have absolutely believe is dishonest.
Yes.
If you think that this is shoddy reskin or, isn't that good graphics-wise, then what the fuck does that mean a slew of other remasters are?
Yeah.
Which I would say that this is a remake because they did put in the work to put in new character models.
I think that it's very reminiscent of The Secret of Mana.
Right.
Where it's the same game, and a lot of people had complaints, and it's like, basically, so what you're doing is you're not critiquing the remake, you're critiquing the game.
Yeah.
That it's remade from.
Yeah.
Like fucking Jason Dipshit.
Yeah.
Over at fucking Kotak Fuck. That guy was basically, before the release of Secret of Mana, oh, I'm so excited for this, blah, 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 blah. I used to play this all the time. And then when it came out, he says that the remaster makes a great game much worse. And then he goes on in his article and basically says, everything in the original game is crap. Even though I was super excited to get this and I loved it when I was a kid. And it's
I played it for 4 hours.
It's one of those,
And then my girlfriend looked at me and said it was boring. And I couldn't help but agree. It's because you're level 5, asshole.
You
in an RPG.
Yeah, you haven't hit the point where you're hitting the flammy. You got to get to where you can fly around and explore.
Yeah.
Do all the quests. But the thing is irregardless, when this came out, that these were happening, it's a 0 out of 1, it's a 0 out of 10, it's crap, it's bad, and I'm playing it, and I'm just playing through the campaign and offline LAN play with you and Cream. I'm thinking in my head, we're seeing something that's the same thing. We're seeing that people expected this game to be completely different than Warcraft 3, and now they're crying about it. Because they were all just like, oh, a remaster. Because here's the thing, there is an online status quo. You look up everyone's top list of SNES favorite games, and I guarantee you, if it's on there, I bet you they talk shit on the remaster. Because it's just on there because it's an accepted thing. Secret of Mana is on people's top SNES games because it's a fucking status quo. It's like Ghostbusters 2 is bad and Jedi is the weakest Star Wars. Right? It's one of those things that everyone's like, yeah, and I don't dare go against the grain because I might fucking upset someone and ruffle someone's feathers. That 100% happens. We saw it fucking happen with the Secret of Mana remake. That game is a gorgeous fucking remaster. It preserves everything that I loved about the original and just pulls it forward graphically and musically. Adds full orchestras and metal guitars, adds all sorts of shit that I enjoyed, adds voiceovers, adds fully scripted spoken word audio for every character in the game. No copy and paste. Characters that said the same thing, still they took the time to give those characters different voices. Like I say with this, when you see the 3 demons, when you see things you can just see
when you
the work
see
and love
Ashenvale, and you're looking at the forest, and you see the Tree of Eternity, and it shows that little cutscene where it's showing the tree in the valley with the sunrise behind it. It looks gorgeous.
Or Suramar.
Yeah,
when you go there at the beginning of the Frozen Throne campaign, or Northrend, it looks gorgeous.
Or Outlands. It
looks better than vanilla WoW graphics.
Yeah, it looks really
There's
good.
more texture and more definition in the character models and in all the background images and everything than there is in vanilla WoW. And I'd say even Wrath, or what the fuck, Cataclysm WoW.
Oh, yeah.
When they redid everything and added textures and spruced up the graphics to the vanilla world, it still looks better than that.
Yeah.
So to say that this game is half-assed reskin is not only disingenuous, it's you trying to back up your point by putting down a positive in the game. And I think that is fucking dishonest and disingenuous, like you were saying.
Yes.
To call it a 0 out of 10, if you're saying that because you wanted you played Warcraft 3 for the PvP online campaigns, custom games, you played it for all of that, and you followed it for all of that, and everything that Blizzard said they backed up on, and in fact took your old game and pissed all over it and said you now must play it the way we've decided you must play it. All these years after we've sold it. If you're giving it a 0 out of 10 for that reason, I completely understand. But how dare you fucking try to tell me that my opinion, with it being higher than that, based on the way I play it and the parts of the game that I received and was expecting to receive and how those panned out for me, don't you tell me that I'm just full of shit and I'm some sort of Blizzard shill.
Yeah.
Because if that's the way it's going to be, then fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Because understand. We can understand the outrage.
Oh,
we can understand the review bombs because they're warranted.
Exactly.
But you motherfuckers better calm down, sip some fucking tea, and accept the fact that their fucking graphics in this are not half-assed.
No.
And when you say shit like that, me, the person you're saying that to, who doesn't know about how all of these things at the time, I'm going to look at you and go, this is an overdramatic, emotional baby who doesn't want to fucking make any sense. He doesn't want to admit the graphics are good. He's going to talk shit on the graphics because the graphics are a point in the game's favor. And he can't have that.
No.
And I'm not going to look at your opinion as anything other than hyperbole and bullshit, overreacting, baby whining, because that's 99% of the shit we hear about fucking shit on YouTube, on Twitter, everywhere. 99% of it is overdramatic groupthink that can't calm the fuck down, grab its nuts, and chill the fuck out for 2 minutes.
And think about it. And think about it honestly. Like, one thing that you will find in this review is, at the beginning, we're talking shit on it. And we're talking about all the bad moves that they made, because Blizzard 100% crippled the fuck out of this launch and release with all of the shit that they did.
And they took these people's hard work and they fucking put it behind all of this bullshit. And now there's a lot of people who put a lot of love into this game who probably feel like shit.
Yep.
Because it's got a 0 out of fucking 10.
Yep.
And it doesn't fucking deserve a 0 out of 10.
It doesn't.
I'll give you that if that's your preference.
Let's judge the game as a whole, though.
Yeah,
I understand.
you must.
Okay, I understand.
You must judge it
Another
as a whole.
thing that I want to bring up is, like, I understand that there is an entire slew of community that enjoy online, that enjoy custom games, that enjoy specifically that aspect of the game, but let's be honest, this is more than just that. This isn't just Overwatch where that's the only thing to it. I guarantee you that all the people who bought it for that are also going to play the campaign, who are also going to go into the custom games and play the different offline modes like the goddamn tower defense and the Dota, the Monolith, the War Chasers. You know, there's a bunch of different modes in the game that people will enjoy. You know what I mean? So let's judge it as a whole product, right? Let's judge it as a whole, which the online, that is one aspect of it. Now, I don't enjoy that personally, but I will say all of the moves with that are absolutely bullshit.
Here's the thing. When you have a game like Warcraft 3, there's a reason it's survived this long. There's a reason there's a demand for a remaster, okay? And that is because of the online PvP and competitive scene. The people having tournaments, shit like that. If everyone who ever played Warcraft 3 only ever gave a fuck about the story like us, only ever gave a fuck about a few custom offline LAN, campaign stuff, doing offline, beating up on the AI, doing, trying to do AIs on hards on a team and trying to beat that shit, just playing around that way, I doubt we would have seen a remaster. Because for as much time as I have sunk into Warcraft 3, replaying the campaign over the years, replaying the Frozen Throne over the years, replaying all the maps over the years, PvP or offline, just playing against the AI, trying to cripple myself and give them more stuff, and just hours and hours sunk into it. Of all of that time I've spent in it, that ain't shit. That's a fucking grain of sand on the beach compared to someone who is in it for the online PvP competitive element, 2v2s, 4v4s, all that shit. They have spent way more time in this. They're the reason that this remaster is happening. And the fucking biggest problem with this game is that it was catered for people like us. 100%. Because I have zero problems with it. Outside of a few graphical issues that I can talk about. I wish that they, like I already mentioned, I wish they would have gone farther with the cutscenes.
Yeah.
I really do.
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't expecting it, but I don't see why you wouldn't just do that. Can't you do that? Can't you freeform, pull the camera down and just, telegraph up close, side by side, silhouette.
You did so good with the character models. One of the hugest improvements, in my opinion, is like when Arthas is yelling at Mal'Ganis after the culling of Stratholme.
Yeah.
In the original, he's like lifting his arm. But how they hold their mace when their arm is down is the hammerhead is hanging to the front, right? So when they lift it up, they didn't take into account that should be pointed backwards.
Yeah.
So it looks like this wonky graphic, and the hand, it kind of just looks like a block in the original. So that's why I really wish that they would have gone more cinematic and zoom in.
And when you finish the game after the fucking hell mission, when you get past that mission and you see Illidan and Arthas have their throwdown, like, that shit's real legit.
Yeah.
Compared to the old character models. That's when you really can see, and that's why I feel like if they had done that, there'd be less complaining about the graphics. Most people aren't taking the time to zoom in, look at these character models, look at the fucking maps. Like, I was looking at the waves crash against these rocks, and there was moss and all sorts of definition there.
The reflection of objects in the water.
Most people aren't looking at that. Most people are just playing it from away, and I can understand why. That's how I do it. I was zooming in and looking at it just because I wanted to scrutinize the new graphics. They are fucking gorgeous, and I feel like if you had done these extended cutscenes, you would have had more of that to show off. Mm-hmm. More to show off, more to, present. And if you're doing this from a focus of campaign, basically just a graphical rework, and you're going to piss all over your online scene, well, you may as well just go all out then, because there's several places where I feel like you could have improved things that you didn't, and you catered the fucking game to me.
Yeah.
But before we continue from this point, I need to mention real quick, if you're not seeing a lot of examples of past footage, there's another complaint I have. I had beaten the Warcraft 3 story completely, the classic version, many times, 2 or 3 times on this version that I own this time on Battle.net, the legit version I have.
Right.
2 or 3 times at least. Well, when they updated the Reforged and packaged Warcraft 3 or Classic into the Reforged, they wipe my progress.
Yeah.
So if I want to get example footage, say, of the Frozen Throne,
any of the cinematics, any of the graphics, any of the combat, any of the levels.
I can't get any of the the cinematics. The cinematics are updated even for Warcraft 3 the Classic. It's been updated visually and everything.
Oh my God, are you serious?
Yeah. So, like, if I wanted to comparatively do that, I would have to go in and replay the whole campaign again, which I'm not doing. I mean, I will at some point, but why in the fuck am I going to play it again on the old version that I've already played?
Yeah.
The only purpose to do that would be to literally get footage for this review, and I'm not doing it. Fuck you. I've beaten that, and that progress should have fucking carried over. And why in the fuck are you not just having everything immediately unlocked anyway? Just unlock the classic version for everybody.
Yeah.
Why in the fuck are you going to force people to replay through it all again?
Why are you bundling in the classic with the Reforged to begin with?
Yes, that is the...
Like, you could just separate them and you could have, like, the classic Warcraft 3 standalone.
Because they want to filter people into the same server. So this is a way for... If they had the old way... They would have had to keep all of the old rules, all the old fucking ladder, profiles, all of that. They didn't want to do that. They wanted to change it all. And in the process of doing it, they wanted to change the other version too, so that all those people who are playing and keeping the game alive on Battle.net, a reason for it to keep continuing, having service and shit, those people, to force them into the new rule set, the new fucking system, the new everything, so that they are with people who are buying the remaster to cultivate an online population.
Right.
Which, when I see how many people are refunding this and how few people are on general chat every day, less than a couple of hundred,
and all of them are talking shit.
All of them are talking shit. There's a few people like myself who are like, hey, I'm enjoying the campaign, though. The campaign's really good. I'm having fun.
40-hour plus campaign.
Yeah. One of my favorite fucking stories ever. One of my favorite games. This is one of the very first fucking PC games I ever played was Warcraft 2.
Yeah, well, let's be honest. This franchise was the foundation for a phenomenon. Maybe you've heard of it. Fucking World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
One of the most popular MMORPG that is still one of the only play.
That's why when you see people...
I'm sorry.
People are complaining and they're like, I fucking gave $40 for this. Why'd you give $40?
Yeah.
$40 gets you
$30.
Hearthstone skins for the heroes in Warcraft 3. That's it.
Yeah.
The extra $10 gets you Hearthstone skins for the player characters that are in the 100% inferior than the classic, or they're not classic because they redid them, but the redone skins.
Right.
They're inferior 100%. Why are you giving them $40? Because you got WoW subscription, you play Hearthstone, you play Heroes of the Storm.
You're getting the meat wagon with the pre-order purchase.
And then this is my perception, having not followed any of the BlizzCon shit, having not understood what they had done with the World Editor. Like, basically all I understood about that was they said that they own shit. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Like, it's their assets.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I didn't know that entailed fucking new retextures,
new art, new egregious.
Completely organically created characters to a catchphrase.
Yeah.
You're snatching, like, you greedy motherfuckers. But just having known that, looking at this blowback from what I now understand, but looking at this blowback, I'm sincerely looking at it like, oh, well, it's a bunch of fucking bitches who love World of Warcraft because they're addicts and they love the grind and they love that fucking mindfuck progression. They love, having mounts be the incentive of every grind. Cosmetics be the incentive of every grind now. Not gear, not power, not professions, none of that shit. They just like to buy gold and buy $1 million mounts, right? Or fucking $40 mounts. However much it costs in gold to get these things that come at every expansion. How much it costs there, how long it takes to farm these reputations so that you can get a mount at the end of it.
Yeah.
Nothing fucking game helping, nothing like that, just a reskinned fucking mount that you already have, but just now has a new coat of paint over it. I mean, the skeleton's the same. It has the same movement as the other mount you have, but look, it looks different now.
Yep.
And time and again, that's been, for far too fucking long that I can see, that's been the end game of fucking WoW.
Yeah.
Is progressive bleeds, gear bleeds, all this shit, like come back next week, come back next week, come back next week.
And then they tie these pre-order bonuses together. So when they release a teaser trailer,
I'm like,
for example, I was in the middle of farming to get the original Warcraft 3 Reign of Chaos with the Frozen Throne expansion from the Battle.net launcher, because they did upscale it to 1080p high definition, and I was excited to play that. I had previously bought StarCraft 2 with WoW Gold. I was farming to get that, and then they released the trailer, and that was just wiped from the store.
Yeah, they just took it off the storefront.
And as soon as that teaser trailer dropped, the first thing I see on the Battle.net is, oh, get your meat wagon with the pre-order purchase of Warcraft 3, and
get your Hearthstone thing, get your Heroes of the Storm thing.
Yeah, and they don't even have a fucking date of it. They said honored before December 31st,
which ended up being a fucking lie, because it came out here in January.
Yeah, so that was a lie. So, you know what I mean? I can understand that a lot of these people who are buying it for $40 are probably pre-ordering it the day of.
So they can get the meat wagon. Like, they buy the 6-month subscription every time they do a fucking mount.
Yep.
Right?
Or they'll do it to get the Heroes of the Storm skins, and they'll play that.
Sincerely, I thought, and I was talking to Chubbs about it, and he thought I was dead on when I was saying this is a bunch of bitches who are acting hyped for a game they never played, getting into it, playing it, realizing it's not the way that they want it to be, and then being like, this is a fucking crap remaster.
Yeah.
Because that has happened so often before. Mm-hmm. That has happened. The Secret of Mana is the perfect example of where I would say that happened. Mm-hmm. Where they over-dramatized the fuck out of it. Uniformly, this fucking status quo opinion downclicked that game, said it was crap. In my eyes, it was fucking perfect.
It was a great remaster.
For the price on offer,
remake.
$40.
I will call that a remake.
$40 for it. 100% exactly what I wanted. Mm-hmm. It was the original game with updated graphics. Voice acting. It made the story more immersive and come through more. Mm-hmm. Like when you were hearing the TV glimpses to the past in the garden and you were hearing like the old communications kind of echo like through time. It kind of gave you the feeling of that post-apocalyptic, like, you know, ascendant to technological wonder to now just falling back into like this sort of, you know, primitive state where you still have like
but they're receiving these ancient broadcasts from like a
these
television network.
Are still around, but they're all dilapidated, and you could actually tell what those were. And like then you go in the underground subway and you see all those zombies down there, and you're like, oh fuck, like it was there before. I understood it before, but presented with the new graphics, presented with the voice acting, presented with all of that, I felt like for $40. I got exactly what I fucking wanted out of fucking Secret of Mana. Exactly what I wanted. I feel the same way at $30 for Warcraft 3 Reforged. Right? That's not to say that in this instance, I truly understand.
The difference between the two is Warcraft 3 Reforged truly erased the original from memory. Yep. Erased the original from history and said, this is Warcraft 3.
This is the way it is now.
Whereas the Secret of Mana remake, I feel like what they did there was, we love this game and we want to preserve it for future generations. So here is something that will translate with newer generations.
So here's something that I found to be funny as fuck. In defense of all of this blowback, Blizzard has come out and started, you know, justifying things.
Right.
They said that the cutscenes were there to preserve the fucking feeling of Warcraft 3, right? We wanted to maintain the feel of the original and just lovingly restore it with these upgraded graphics, right? But you removed the fucking Warcraft 3 Reign of Chaos rule set from the online fucking campaign and even offline. Right?
You wiped everybody's progress, bundled them together.
So you either give a fuck about the original and you want to preserve the integrity of the original, or you don't give a fuck about the original.
You're wiping over it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's what I think it is. It's that you didn't do cutscenes because you don't have enough manpower or money on the job. Because Activision said you get this much money and this much manpower to do this job and make it work.
Yeah.
And make it work now. And it's I'm having performance problems. I'm having when I'm scrolling
I'm not running
on the map,
it on ultra.
I'm running it all on medium.
I'm seeing
and
it
even
here.
on medium, I'm having hitching and I'm having frame rate drops to the point of freezing when I'm scrolling. When we were playing LAN play and we were, you know, it was all over the place, left and right, fucking just
loading times.
Yes, long ass loading times. I had this interesting bug where I was playing through the fucking Orc Founding of Durotar campaign, and I had it fucking hard crash on a load screen, and then it never fucking, because we haven't really gotten into it, but there's been many quality of life improvements to the campaign. One of the quality of life improvements, in my opinion, a huge one, is auto saves, checkpoint saves. The game will periodically throughout the mission checkpoint save for you at important points. Take out, say you're up against 3 enemy camps, you take out one of them, bam, the game will auto save for you. Bam, the game will auto save for you when you get halfway through or you accomplish half the task or whatever, right?
Right.
Just constant auto saving. It's a huge benefit in my opinion, because I remember having to manually, okay, am I safe? And oftentimes fucking up and getting a save at a point when I wasn't safe and having to restart the entire mission all over again.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a nice thing, but then for some reason they just dropped the ball and it didn't save once during the founding of Durotar.
So it's
not once. So I'm just going through it, having fun, fucking. I've just finished the what is it, Senjin Isles? Is it the Senjin Isles?
The Darkspear Isles?
Darkspear Isles. I'm just finishing the Darkspear Isles. I'm just heading back to fucking go back to Thrall and turn in Thrall, and I hit that load screen in between the Senjin Isles and or is it the Darkspear Isles? I swear it's the Senjin
It
Isles.
might have been the Senjin. Darkspear is where they come from. That's like off the coast somewhere. But yeah, I know what you're talking about, because you're working for the trolls out there before you go into Orgrimmar.
Yes. And so, hard crash on the load screen. Next thing you know, done.
Gone.
Have to restart all over
No
again.
checkpoint saves.
If you've done the founding of Durotar campaign, you understand how long that is into the campaign.
And that's
several hours in.
And another thing is that campaign is a minuscule piece of content when you're looking at every other single campaign.
Yeah.
We're talking about Reign of Chaos and Frozen Throne. Every single campaign throughout the campaign it had autosaves.
Yeah, I just don't understand why you didn't have autosaves there. I could not find a single autosave from the founding of Durotar campaign, so I was like,
which is really weird.
I will play through this later. I'm not going to play through it now, obviously, because I'm
manually
not spend,
save it.
I just lost 3 hours of time.
Yeah,
I'll wait until I've forgotten about that, because I'm not immediately going to want to restart, and that ruined my fucking playthrough of it, because that's my favorite goddamn campaign.
Yeah.
In the whole fucking package is the founding of Durotar and playing as Rexxar, the Brewmaster, the Pandaren, the fucking, I forget his name.
Rokan.
Yeah, Rokan the troll, witch doctor that rolls with you.
Yep.
So like that's the thing for that to happen during my favorite point and then being like, oh well that's okay. I'll get an autosave. Fuck it, I'm gonna eat dinner. Get back in after dinner, fucking open it up, get ready to load a save and finding that it just didn't save.
Yeah.
Not once. Like, I would have taken an hour loss. I would have taken 2 hour loss. It was like 3 or 4 hours that I played it.
Yeah.
Because I'm doing full exploration. I'm, getting the Brewmaster before I do any other quests. Like, and so, like, I'm working on leveling my heroes up to the point where when I do get to Senjin Isles, I'm just rolling through it.
Right.
And now I got to do that all again.
Yeah.
No. So that was one part.
That's where they dropped the ball. Another thing, if I want to get nitpicky, and I brought this up to you, is Thrall has a beard outside of the cinematics.
Yes.
And in the cinematics, he is young Thrall before he has a beard. So I don't understand.
That was exactly the way it was in the old game. I don't know if 100%, but I have a theory that the reason that Thrall had a beard in his character model and not on his cinematics is because they wanted to differentiate him from Grom later on in the game, because they did look very similar. Like the orcs, when Grom and him are going to take out, what's his name?
Manaroth?
Yeah,
Manaroth?
Is it Manaroth?
Yeah.
I forget. But when they're going to take out that Dreadlord,
right, that
you could see that they look very much alike, and Grom has a beard and Thrall doesn't. But yeah, I don't know. So yeah, but that was always there. But like you were saying, you could have changed that.
You could have changed that. I mean, I'm not against having a character model with a beard, but like it's just sort of jarring. And it's something that, like I brought up to you, easily could be fixed by removing the beard and having you play as the character model without the beard. And then at the final campaign, the bonus campaign, the founding of Orgrimmar, give him the beard.
Yeah, let him have the beard now.
Now he's not the young war chief. Now he's turning into the orc leader.
And it kind of like maybe he grew his beard out because he idolized Grom. Like Grom was like his big brother.
Right.
And he loved Grom
very much. So he grew it out
and,
after the events of that.
Grom sacrificed himself to save not only himself, but all the orcs from the demon curse, because once the connection to the master was cut off, the demon blood that they had drank no longer held any power.
Right.
Because the source was dead. Yeah. And so I don't know. I think that would have been interesting to do.
Another thing that's nitpicky is there was one mission on Kel'Thas where it's like in a dungeon and you're supposed to walk down this corridor, but there's these 2 rows of towers, and like for me, it showed them sitting in water, but the whole purpose to progress the campaign was to hit these gates that opened up the floodgates. Was it Arthas?
Yeah, I know.
And I was like, why is there water? There should be zero water, and then when you open the floodgates, the water comes and destroys the towers. And it's little things like that that I felt like could have been smoothed out.
Yeah.
A little bit more attention to detail. You know, just think about it critically for a second. It doesn't make sense that, you know, Thrall has a beard, and then he doesn't have a beard in the cinematics. You know?
But you don't understand. They're trying to preserve the integrity of the original game.
No, you're wiping over.
But you don't get any fucking Reign of Chaos rule set. Sorry.
Yeah.
That part of the... Because you know what they said about that? This is another thing that pisses me off. Is their justification for removing that was that at the last tournaments or whatever that they had polled, they said that very few people used the Reign of Chaos rule set. Oh... So fuck everybody who does use the Reign of Chaos rule set, right?
Yeah.
Fuck everyone who does use that rule set and enjoys that rule set. Fuck them, because the big tournament players and people who are fucking like making the game popular, they don't play that way.
Yeah.
So fuck everyone else. They're the integrity of Warcraft 3 no longer matters of the original game. They're the spirit doesn't matter. We don't give a shit about that.
Yeah.
But when it comes to actually doing like cinematic cutscenes where we like zoom in and show off these character models that our artists have spent a lot of work on and a lot of time on to make look really good, and it's very rare that you actually get to see them that well except for the face. Mm-hmm. How about show that shit off? No, because there we give a shit about the original. There we want to preserve the soul of the game.
Yeah.
Back to quality of life. Another quality of life improvement that I noticed I wanted to put in here was healing potions stack now. They don't stack in custom games or online, but for the campaign, if you had a lesser potion of healing and you wanted to pick up another potion of lesser healing, you would have to sacrifice 2 character equipment slots to pick them both up. And now they just stack scrolls of healing, scroll of mana, everything like that that's a consumable that heals or mana or shield, whatever. All that shit stacks now. That was cool. I thought that was cool.
Having an easy mode for the final mission. Thank you.
Yeah, having easy mode, that's nice, because when I was younger and I would get up against the wall and frustrated, I'd just cheat. I'd just give myself gold and lumber to just get through it. And like, I've beaten the game several times without cheating, but sometimes, and it's in this case, that end mission is so frustrating that I was just like, I think I did it for 6-7 hours and I was like, no, this is the perfect time to check out this easy mode, and it's fucking easy. Holy fuck.
Oh yeah.
After pounding away at that for 8 hours and easy, I went through and did it in fucking 32 minutes.
Exactly.
Finished the whole fucking mission in 32 minutes.
Fucking wiping out buildings in like 5 hits.
I feel like that's nice for you people who may not be as good at the RTS, may not be as seasoned. It takes you a long time to get to the point where you can beat this campaign on just normal.
And the Frozen Throne campaign is extremely hard.
Yeah, and I've beaten probably about 60 or 70% of it on hard. I for sure have beaten all of the Reign of Chaos on hard in the past, but I've never completed the whole Frozen Throne campaign on hard. Just not been able to do it. Yeah. I've been able to do it on normal without cheats. Mm-hmm. And I was like, fuck it, I know I can do this. What do I got to prove?
Yeah.
It's
especially with that mission. You're burning resources. You're building 5 times. Illidan and Vashj just keep wiping you out. Kel'Thas is attacking your base.
I was like, this is the perfect time to try out the journalist difficulty.
I'm like 45 minutes in and I fail.
All the fucking journos were playing this shit on that story difficulty.
Oh yeah. And they probably didn't even beat it
after a week.
They probably didn't even beat it. Because that's the thing about this game, is the campaign alone is about 40 hours. It took me about 40 hours. Now, this is coming from, like, what you were saying. You recently played it and beat it. I recently played it and beat it, too. I'd say within the past 6 months.
I've played through this campaign. I can't even count
but
how
it
many
was
times.
It was fresh. But I remember going back 6 months ago or whenever I played the original off of the physical disc. I remember playing it and just fucking thinking of how long it took me to beat. It took me twice as long as it took me to beat the Reforged.
Yeah. Well,
and it's because I had not played it for so long, and it is so difficult.
The thing about it is, it's one of those games like Resident Evil 4 or fucking Dark Souls, or pick your poison, something that you spent hours and hours and hours and hours and hours to complete, that now when you go back to it you can beat in a day. You can sit down and play it and beat it in a day.
Yeah.
And it's that sort of thing, because it's, and especially for me, like I never have a problem beating the campaign now. Like even that Frozen Throne mission, I have problem with that, or the Tale of Ice and Flame.
Yeah.
That mission I have problems with, and it's difficult, but I can do it. I know the strategy to do it. It's just you got to multitask better than I'm capable of doing.
Yeah.
Right? You got to be able to multitask like a motherfucker. You got to be able to push and defend and like be managing a base and resources. Yeah. You got to be on the ball. And I could have done it, but you know what I mean? I know how to do it. I have a strategy in my mind, and that's the mission that I've probably beat the least amount of times without cheats.
Right.
Right? But the Reign of Chaos, dude, fucking what's his name? He doesn't get past Jaina's base. Archimond?
Yeah.
I have the Night Elves down there stacked, bears, fucking moonwells all over the place in her area, healing them all. Like I have no problems beating that. He don't even get past her base.
Right.
If he does, he doesn't get past Thrall's base.
Yeah.
He barely shows up when I'm having to fall back to Thrall's.
Yeah.
And it's just because I know, okay, like this is how you do it. I figured this out years ago. This is how you do it. You build this here,
I've done
these
it
here,
so
you
many
do
times.
these you build these mob or troops.
Right.
You build them with these sort of combination together to defend this point, and then the Moonwells will heal them, and then you build some protectors in the back so that they can throw, you know. It's just like, you know what to do because it took you so long. It's like Resident Evil 4. I know that I should shoot the crow on the way to the village because then I'm going to get a grenade that I can use to kill a bunch of them right away.
Right.
And I only need to kill 15. With that, I can get a bunch right out of the gate, and that pushes that village into manageable.
Right.
You know what I mean? Instead of frantic. And I know that because I spent 2 or 3 days getting my ass kicked in that village, trying to figure it out until I started over and ended up finding that grenade off the crow and being like, oh, I have a grenade now. And you know, it's like, because it is so challenging that it takes you so long that you remember. It's like riding a bike. You remember the steps you need to perform in order to accomplish victory in this instance.
Right.
Warcraft 3. And that's that. The campaign is still, like, I feel it's flawless in my opinion. The storytelling, the characters, everything. I feel like even with the overhead in-game cinematics, even with those, I still feel like it holds up to the test of time. And when you consider these new graphical changes they've made, all these new quality of life improvements to the campaign, and the hope that this outrage blows back on them and they put some serious work into it instead of just pulling the plug and, you know, counting on fucking Diablo 4 being marketable to the skin babies. If that's the way it's gonna be, then like whatever. It's, you know, but I can understand people's frustrations. I can understand people's anger. One thing that pisses me off is when you say there's no other side to this story. And I've been that fucking guy. And I understand it's easy to be that guy. To just be like, I'm right, and everyone else is wrong because you are right. That's the thing. In that moment, you are right. You have valid points. You have valid opinions. But what you've done is you've allowed a fucking shroud of red rage to cloud your objective. You can't objectively look at it and be like, okay, yes, they pissed all over the multiplayer. They fucked up the world editor user agreement. They're shitting on modders in a way that even Bethesda would fucking be shamed of. They're pissing all over the online community. They're saying, fuck the Warcraft 3 Reign of Chaos rule set. You no longer have access to that because we've decided that that's not popular in tournament play. You don't get new cutscenes because we've decided that that's in an area where we want to preserve the integrity of the original vision.
While we're wiping over the original.
You do all the... You're right. But I also happen to think that a lot of people put a lot of fucking hard work and effort into this product. I feel that the graphics are beautiful. I feel that they match the world and the setting beautifully, and that they do lovingly restore this game. In that aspect, at least. In the visuals, at least. I feel like it's lovingly restored. I feel like the character models are out of this world with detail. And, I mean, aside from, like I said, those hitches, I mean, I'll take them if it's going to be able to look this good.
Oh, yeah. And there was a lot of cool things. There was a lot of amazement for me during the campaign. One thing that I brought up with you that we talked about is during the culling of Stratholme, you would crack open a house and randomly a boss from the dungeon in World of Warcraft there. So you see like the necromancer, the flesh mender,
that was a
or meat hook, you know.
And that was fucking cool. And I wish they would have expanded on that because they didn't do that anywhere else in the game that I could tell. Like they had these parts of the game that, like the culling of Strat, that they were saying we're gonna make these look more like World of Warcraft, the counterpart in World of Warcraft, right?
Right.
But then you get down to it, and it's only the culling of Strat. That's the only mission that received that sort of map makeover.
That increased
and
aspect.
It goes to the question of why.
Yeah.
Like why?
Why?
If you're not gonna do, like, you could have retouched Suramar. You could have retouched. There's lots of areas in this Ashenvale. You could have retouched Ashenvale Forest and made it look more like, the southern border between Barrens and Ashenvale, where the Ord have their Warsong camp.
Right.
You could have made it look more like that area.
Like more desert.
You didn't. I feel like they didn't. As far as I know, and I could be wrong, but as far as I could tell and remember and recall, the only mission that got a makeover like that was the culling of Strat.
Yeah, that was it. There really weren't many different changes like that. But I will say this, that I enjoyed the campaign. I enjoyed playing through the campaign. Took me a long time to beat, and I'm still going to enjoy all of the offline custom content that I will continue to enjoy.
Oh, yeah.
I can totally understand the outrage, and I'm with you guys. I think that this is definitely egregious, and there's a lot of shitty things behind it. But it's disingenuous to call it a 0 out of 10. Because for me, I feel like if you're going to judge it as a whole. And like I said, this is the foundation of a phenomenon, World of Warcraft. And I understand that there's probably a lot of people who played World of Warcraft and never played any of the Warcraft games, 1 through 3. And if you are going to play any of those, Warcraft 3 is definitely the one to play.
And if you're going to play Warcraft 3, you may as well play the Reforged.
You may as well play this one, because it's the only one available, and it's got all of the freaking graphical changes, and it's a refreshing...
It's disappointing.
It's refreshing to go back and play through the story, which if you haven't done, I feel like it's worth it. But once again, we're talking about a game that instead of trying to preserve the historical significance of the original and preserve what it stands for in the Blizzard name, because this is their bread and butter, motherfuckers.
This is the thing. Blizzard isn't Blizzard anymore.
Instead, they're wiping over it.
The person that they had come out as like their head guy who's out there doing all the PR is a guy who did QA testing on Warcraft 3 back in the day.
Right.
If that's the best, if the guy who did it is a QA tester from Warcraft 3, he's one of the only people clearly who's been there since that time. You're going to be putting forth if there's here's the director of the original, here's, so-and-so, here's so-and-so. But most of those people are gone. Blizzard's been hollowed out.
Oh, yeah.
It's a different company than the one we grew up with. That's why but the thing is it's not like everyone who works there are fucking assholes. And this game deserves a 0 out of fucking 10.
Yeah.
And put all of those people's jobs at risk who did a lot of good work on this and a lot of good, redesigns on character model. There's a lot of good work that went into this. And it's sad to see that all of those people's hard works, the graphics, all of that is going to be glossed over and pushed aside and called a half-ass reskin because of the shitty fucking decisions from the business side of things. Let's filter them all into the same pool. Let's not offer up fucking, like Warcraft 3 Classic is in its whole. Let them play the Reign of Chaos rule set.
Yeah.
Let them mod and whatever. Let them do all of that shit. We're not scared. Like, let's focus on, updating graphics, making it all smoother, and then we will get them to buy this because it's going to be better. But this feels like you're forcing them to buy it because now they got to deal with your shitty shit anyway.
Because now it's the only one on the market.
Yeah, you've removed that one from the market, and not only did you remove it from the market, you took everyone who already owned it and wrapped it into this one. Fuck you for that.
Yeah.
Fuck you for that. That is unfucking excusable.
Absolutely.
And that's where I draw the fucking line. And I mean, as much as I liked this game, I'll defend it. Like you were saying, I'm going to have, by the time all is said and done and they put me in the fucking ground, I'm going to get well over $30 worth of fucking entertainment out of this product.
Yeah.
Well over. Okay? I'm going to have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours logged onto this son of a bitch. By the time they drop my ass in the ground, $30 for that enjoyment, here you go. Because I enjoy the campaign. I enjoy offline LAN play with you and Crumb. I enjoy custom, like games, Monolith, fucking War Chasers. I enjoy all these different things and ways to play the game that I'm going to be able to play, that I'm going to have access to. I'm going to replay these campaigns at some point. It's one of my favorite fucking fantasy stories of all time. Best believe I will rebuy it and play. I will replay it. So, to say that I am a shill or I am a fanboy because I'm willing to objectively look at this and say, hey, there's a lot of bullshit, but there's a lot of good things. There's a lot of hard work. And I don't think that those people should be thrown under the bus and have their work talked shit on by whiny little fucking cunts because of the decision of the assholes higher up in the fucking company who made these decisions. You think the fucking people on the ground floor delivering these awesome character models, doing these retextures, smoothing out the game, you think any of them would have done that? Given the choice, that they would have said, okay, well, let's fucking piss all over the old game, wrap it into this one, and force everyone to play the game the way we want them to play it. Retroactively after all these fucking years. None of them would have. None of them would have. And I'm sure more than half of them understood and knew that this sort of thing was going to happen. And that's unfortunate. And that's why I feel like I'm so disappointed in Blizzard as a company at this point in time. Because not only now does it let down its fans, but it lets down the hard work of its fucking employees. And it ties them up in bullshit decisions, and then they get made a fucking example of having done nothing but
having done nothing
but retouch up this gorgeous game, this wonderful piece of fiction, this amazing fucking world that I've been privileged to be a part of. I feel privileged to have lived long enough to see this remaster. I'm sorry. And that may piss some people off, and if that makes me a fanboy, oh fucking well. I'm not the one who spent $40 on the fucking game so I could get the fucking meat wagon mountain wow. And the Hearthstone card. And the fucking Heroes of the Storm skins
not
in this.
worth the $40 I
Every
spent.
time, yeah. Why are you spending 40, you dumb fuck?
Why are you giving them 10 extra bucks?
Because you have willingly handed, and that's the thing. Make no mistake. Make no mistake. Some of these little fuckers that are complaining, they are just little fuckers who hand money over fist to this company like your Asmongold's. God, I'm going to criticize WoW, but I'm going to keep handing them money, and I'm going to have entire videos of me showing off my mount collection, right? But, I'm fucking
I'm going to get
Asmongold.
famous from searching for cosmetics, transmogrifications in World of Warcraft and getting 100% completionist.
They have
I'm a
more mounts
collector.
than me.
I'm a collector.
But I'm going to talk shit on the game, and then I'm going to spend all my time in it, and all my money on it. And all my time and money go into it. Because that's where I get all my time and money.
Yep.
So that's the thing. Most people make no mistake. They picked this up, started the campaign, and was like, I don't like the controls. I don't understand hotkeys. I don't have the patience to learn it. This is bad. Make no mistake. Make no fucking mistake. There are Jason Schreiers of the Warcraft 3 Reforged. They fucking exist.
Oh, yeah.
But they're the ones who are unwilling to say, like Jason Schreier, where he's going to attack the graphics. It's not charming anymore, I think was his words, with the Secret of Mana. The new updated graphics aren't charming. And then he said they had this figured out with another game on the PSP. I look up fucking graphics on the PSP. It looks the exact fucking same as the remaster. Make no mistake, there are people who are talking out of their ass who said they were excited for this because they play WoW, they play Hearthstone, they play Heroes of the Storm.
They understand the significance that this game has on a phenomenon.
Yes. So they're saying, oh, I used to play that all the time because I'm cool. I'm a Blizzard. I love Warcraft. I love it. And then they're getting into it. They're seeing that it's not what they think it was going to be. Like, they didn't change anything. They just did exactly what they said they were going to do. And here's the thing. I know that they did it, but for me and Chubbs within our realm of what we understood this game to be, it's exactly what the fuck we expected. I expected Warcraft 3 reforged in new graphics.
Now, keep in mind,
that's what I got.
We're not sniffing the asses of the industry, slapping up every little piece of freaking marketing we can get our hands on because we're junkies looking for that hype.
I'm a fucking Blizzard fanboy. That's why I didn't know about the misadvertisement shown off at BlizzCon. Because I didn't watch BlizzCon.
You saw one.
I could give a fuck about BlizzCon.
We saw one trailer, like, cool.
That'll be cool.
That's cool.
That's going to be Warcraft 3, and it's going to be all the missions that I love and the campaign that I love, and it's going to be redone with new graphics.
Yep.
That'll be sweet.
We didn't even pre-order the son of a bitch.
Fuck no.
Got it on day one, but we didn't pre-order it.
Because we don't pre-order fucking games.
We don't care.
Right? Our little brother had it. We watched him open it, looked at the first couple of missions of the campaign. He was like, there's problems online. I'm like, oh well, we can play LAN, right? Did a quick Google search. LAN's doing all right. Fuck it, let's buy it. Let's do it.
Yep, let's play together.
What do you know?
Yep.
Ended up being exactly what I wanted. Okay? I'm not a Blizzard fucking fanboy. I'm a Warcraft 3 fan. Make no mistake. I'm a Warcraft fan. I love the mythos, the legend, the lore, the characters, the heroes, the villains, the races. I love all of that shit more than I could ever fucking put into words or articulate. You would have to enter my mind and understand that it makes me feel like a 12-year-old kid again, and I'm all excited to be alive when I'm playing this and I'm seeing all these cutscenes and shit. I'm like, fucking, it's such a good story. I love the characters. I love the world, and to be able to live long enough to experience that, I feel fortunate. I'm gonna call him out on the bullshit. Because there's definitely bullshit. Chubbs is gonna call him out on the bullshit. Because we're not fucking Blizzard fanboys.
We're not regurgitating the most popular opinion that's on the internet today.
I'm not gonna do a 15-minute video
there's something
with
shitty,
fucking bullet points and screaming and bloviating and then make a fucking offhand statement about the graphics sucking.
Yeah. Like,
even
if something is a shitty move or is bad, we will call it out as such.
We always have.
But if something is good, in our opinion...
Consistency is the name of our channel.
Yes, goddammit.
Find me a point of contention on that.
And we're original.
We have been 100% consistent, so fuck you. Anyone who ever calls me a fanboy of anything. I'm a fanboy of intelligence. I'm a fanboy of trying to fucking find objectivity and put my own feelings and shit at the wayside and looking at it, okay, because I have not always been that person, and that's the fucking person I want to be, right? So don't you dare try to tell me that when I am that person, I'm not. Fuck you. 100% fuck you. Fuck them for doing what they did, but fuck you for acting like that's all they did with this. And that all they did was shit and piss all over it, and the graphics suck, and it's questionable, and the fucking blah blah blah, and everything about it is bad. Everything. These cutscenes are bad. Why? They're the same cutscenes that were in the first game. Were they bad then? Did you like Warcraft 3 then?
Did you like the cutscenes?
Because they're the same. I have no problem with these cutscenes. I can understand the perspective of I wish they had done that. It would have added some flair and flavor to it. 100%. I see no problem with the original. It's one of my favorite fucking games.
Yeah.
I see no problem with the way the story is delivered.
Exactly.
In my eyes, it's delivered better because the character models are able to differentiate.
There's
it's
more
not just,
definition.
oh, it's a green Death Lord this time. Or, you know, like Nubarok's face.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking hell, dude. Arthas. after he goes Death Knight, man.
The
like,
Banshees and Sylvanas when she is a Banshee.
yeah, it actually shows Sylvanas, and that's a way. That is
them.
something from World of Warcraft that did make it into the game. So they did change character models to represent better what WoW is.
Right.
Especially with Sylvanas, even as a Dark Ranger, she looks exactly like she does the moment you run into her in the Undercity after fucking it's starting vanilla.
In World of Warcraft, yes.
She looks the exact same as you would expect running into her.
Mm-hmm.
And she's had more texturing, more work done, but for the most part, her design has stayed unchanged.
Right.
And I feel like, fuck it, at the end of the day, it's $30. And as someone who has no problem with the bullshit they pulled, I mean, I'm sorry. I have a problem with it, but it doesn't affect the way I enjoy the game. That doesn't mean that I can't say that it's not fucked up for them to do.
You're not getting the same emotional response
Yes.
as other people because you are not playing that.
Even
However,
if I was.
you do understand the emotional response and receive it as
Even
being
if
bad
I
moves.
was,
Because
yes.
it is bad moves.
Even if I was, though, having the emotional response, I'd like to believe that I could put that aside and say, hey, besides that, though, the campaign has never looked better. The story has never been able to be delivered in a better way. The graphics have never looked better. The character models have never looked better. Like, all of that shit it's insane, the level of detail and love that was put in there in that side of things. And I feel like even if I was pissed, and I am pissed at all the moves they've made, because it's reflective of Blizzard at this point, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's just reflective of the
It
company.
just shows what company they are.
Yeah, they're bullshitters.
They're
dude.
talking about the new Diablo
Well, they're gonna
being
talk
a
about-
Dark
yeah.
Souls third-person dungeon crawler, and then they release the newest trailer, and it's over-the-top Diablo.
It looks
and
like
hey,
Diablo,
there's mounts.
yeah.
And hey, we're releasing. There's
We
going
don't
to be
have
cosmetics.
we don't have the end game grind figured out yet. The loot system.
Yeah, we don't know.
We're gonna
what
have
you're gonna
skins.
do. Yeah, we're gonna sell you.
They're
shit,
gonna have
though.
skins for sale.
We're gonna try to sell you shit.
Because our audience loves skins. Blizzard fanboys love skins.
Overwatch fanboys.
It's Blizzard fanboys. It's
yeah.
not just Overwatch. Overwatch is not the only product where they sell skins.
No.
They sell skins in Heroes of the Storm. They sell skins. The biggest point where it's obvious as fuck that those people are spending money on reskins is the fact that every new expansion, every 6 months, there's a new mount up for sale.
Yep.
There's a new mount for $1.5 million gold. There's a new mount
For a
for a
ridiculous
6-month
sum.
subscription. Yeah.
A ridiculous sum
And
of
it's
money.
all just to get the people, if they're organic gold collectors, to dump that shit and fucking have
Start
to farm
over.
more. Yeah, start over so they complete them with the monthly, or to get those fucking just absolute fucking morons who are willing to spend $80 for fucking gold to go buy a fucking mount.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's what, and it's clear that it's worked because that's been the focus.
Oh yeah.
The whole BFA focus on Endgame was like straight up cosmetic.
Microtransactions is Blizzard's bread and butter.
I
Do
gave
not
up-
doubt this.
I gave up on World of Warcraft when, in a raid, I got a blue drop that was item level the previous expansion. And I opened a ticket for it and said, hey, I've been hunting a two-handed weapon and I finally got one, but it rolled like so low, it's ridiculous. Is that a problem, like, with your rolls? Like, are they rolling shit?
What's going on here? Yeah.
And I had a fucking GM tell me that that's just a cosmetic.
That's
for
something
transmog.
Yeah, collections.
That's a transmog.
Different skins.
And it's the same as the raid weapon that drops off that boss,
Just
too.
a different
It's
color.
just no, it's not even
like,
a different color.
what is it? It's the exact same color, exact same weapon.
Why are you having that clutter up the drop pool? Because people like cosmetics.
Yeah.
That's fucking why.
People will farm for collections.
So yeah, there's no cosmetics for sale as far as I can see. Nothing for sale here,
Nope.
other than that $10 pre-order pack that gives you the dumbass thrall in his monk robes, which is just dumb.
Which
the
is
dumbest
the dumbest
dom.
thrall.
The dumbest thrall.
Like the
of all
Warlords of
time.
Draenor thrall?
Dumb thrall.
That thrall?
No. I like me some fucking war chief thrall.
Yeah.
Not some fucking, I'm a monk Jedi now with big beads.
When he was an orc
fucking anal bead
orcish
necklace.
features.
Yeah.
Before you cleaned up all the orcs.
And then turned him into a guardian dragon or some shit.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck happened there. I trailed
He's
out of that
Jesus,
shit.
Moses, and all of
He's
them
Moses,
rolled into one.
Jesus, and a dragon.
Yep.
You fucking... So yeah, that, I mean, overall I'd say it's worth $30, but I wanted to present both sides and explain why I myself am comfortable with the purchase, happy with the purchase. I'll get my $30, I've already got my $30 worth out of it, and I'm going to get much more than that by the time I'm done.
Oh yeah, especially considering how much that other remasters are coming out for on the market. I mean, they're not full price titles, but then full price titles are $60. And I know it's an unfair comparison, but I think that $30 for this is way more worth it for me personally than $60 for a game like Overwatch.
Yeah. Oh,
you know what I mean?
Well, for sure, because a game like Overwatch goes away the second the player base isn't there.
Oh, yeah.
Look at what happened with Battleborn. That was a $60 game. It's not even going to exist anymore.
So it's $30, and I enjoy the campaign, and I enjoy all the offline content, but I still agree that all of these moves are bad, and I feel like they should have preserved the original and the integrity of the original without wiping over it, which
well, what's happened is they've been allowed to make millions with lazy shit.
Yep.
Overwatch is fucking lazy, dude. The offering on content there is a fucking joke compared to fucking Warcraft 3. It's a joke.
Oh, yeah.
What's on offer in a fucking Hearthstone is a fucking joke compared to a World of Warcraft. What's on offer in World of Warcraft now is a fucking joke when compared to Classic. And so much so that they fucking added Classic in there to try to get all the people who are playing on hacked servers, who probably didn't leave anyway because they're invested in the hacked servers. They have characters. They don't want to go grind for fucking 200 hours again to get to the same point they're already at.
And to pay for the
progress. Make no mistake. Like, that's what Classic was. Classic was the answer to the dissatisfied customers like me who were sick of this new World of Warcraft where professions don't matter. You can't make a living off professions. You can't make a living off of anything but BOA farming. Mm-hmm. You want to fuck BOE farming. You want to make some money? Well, go somewhere where a lot of mobs are and farm drops, gear drops. Because you can't go out now and farm materials and make a BOE that you can then put in the auction house that you can sell for a shitload because it's raid gear comparable, because professions matter. No, they take it away.
Yeah.
Because it's just... Make no mistake, they just need to get back, and I don't know if it's possible now, and that's what's truly sad is they do have all these employees, all these people who work for them who do care, who genuinely care about the games, the characters, and you can see that. They recently
snagged up CD Projekt Red's creative lead of The Witcher 2 and 3, I think.
Yes.
They've been bolstered their
developers.
Yeah, they've been trying to beef up their development teams.
If what they're doing with development teams is just trying to make that quick, easy buck again, we're not going to see anything groundbreaking.
Yeah, you can't be doing lazy...
And it's because the fucking status quo. When it happened, when Overwatch came out, you had the influencers. Who were on Blizzard's fucking payroll. Make no goddamn fucking mistake. Anyone who ever said fucking Overwatch loot boxes are cool and did public openings of them and defended them as not being gameplay affecting so they don't matter, all those little motherfuckers were goddamn enablers, and they were fucking the ones who, what do you call it? Influencers,
yeah.
They probably had better drop rates on those loot boxes than all you common peasant dumb fucks who believe that shit.
The people watching them being like, I need to get me a legendary skin.
I need to get more.
I need to get a loot box.
He just got like 4 legendaries out of 10 loot boxes. I'm gonna get 20 in them. I'm gonna get like fucking
I'm gonna get
6.
8. I'm gonna get 8.
I'm gonna get like
I'm gonna
8.
get twice that amount.
Yeah, because that's what he just got, even though his drop rates are fixed. And we know the drop rates were fixed because when they legally were required to reveal drop rates in China, they wouldn't. All right, this is an old fucking news, whatever. But all those people are responsible for current Blizzard. Mm-hmm. So if you're someone who was there buying Overwatch skins, buying Hearthstone packs over and over and over again, all these new sets, $900+ for a new collection every 6 months. You're spending all this money on fucking, event skins, spending all this money on fucking Heroes of the Storm skins, Heroes of the Storm character skins, all this shit. All of you motherfuckers, you can take your complaints and shove them up your fucking ass. Because you're the reason that this has happened.
Yep.
You're the reason Blizzard is the way they are. They are the way they are because they didn't have to work for a living for many years. You fucking assholes threw hand over fist cash at them for Overwatch, a single fucking game mode that you got addicted to in fucking concert with the loot box that you got every level up.
And you
rush of looking cool in front of other people.
You voted with your money, telling them that laziness is fine, cosmetics are fine, just beef up your art direction.
And not only that, you came out en masse and down-clicked and attacked anyone who fucking dared disagree. You came out and attacked anyone who said that this company is becoming fucking lazy.
Well,
call me a Blizzard fanboy. Go fuck yourself.
Here we are.
And anyone, like fucking anyone who fucking, like those 2 replies that I got to my post saying we got it, we're happy with the purchase. Those 2 guys that just went off out of nowhere, fuck both of you. Chill the fuck out, calm down, and try to look outside your own fucking bubble. Because that's what this world fucking needs. Because eventually, if we don't do that, all of our bubbles are going to connect, and it's going to be implosive. And that's not something that I think we should be aiming towards. I think we should be aiming towards objectivity above all else. And to say that it's a 0 out of 10 game, period. There's no redeeming things about it. Because the portion of the game that you enjoyed did get fucked over, did get shat on. It's disingenuous, dishonest, like Chubb said, and I fucking think you can go fuck yourself.
And honestly, it sounds a lot like me saying it's a 10 out of 10.
It would be the same if I was like, it's a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
You know what I would give this? I would give it a 5 out of 10.
Yep.
Because half of the game is preserved, and lovingly so, updated graphics, gorgeous style, and the other half got shot on.
Yep.
So it's definitely not a 10 out of 10, but it's not a 1 out of 10, a 0 out of 10. It's not.
No.
It's fucking not.
5 out of 10.
There's not a game in the world I would label it. I wouldn't label No Man's Sky Day 1 a 0 out of 10. Fucking game took me like 30 hours to realize how hollow it was. How can a 30-hour game, that's 30 hours of enjoyment, there's things I enjoyed. Exploration, scanning animals, seeing derpy things and laughing. So the huge amount of enjoyment. How can that be a 0 out of 10? It's not. It's not.
It's not.
I would never, and that's the thing, like, when you are doing that, when you say this is 0 out of 10, the graphics suck, the character models don't look good, and you try to shove all the good parts away to help further strengthen your argument, it only hurts your argument. Because it shows me you're being emotional. And both of those people that commented and acted out of fucking, good luck on your fucking review, saying that you only play the game this way and it's not affected. What the fuck are you doing? A little self-awareness would be nice. You're saying I don't enjoy the game the way you enjoy it, and those are definitely updated and improved, but fuck you for saying that.
Yeah.
You're gonna say that those are bad. Those are questionable because it strengthens your side.
That's not the way I enjoy to play the game.
Yeah. So just fuck you, dude. Seriously. Like, seriously.
Yeah.
You want to make a point and be heard. Do it calmly. Don't flat out start attacking people. It's like the fucktard on our Google Stadia video. You want to make an argument for Google Stadia? Don't start with, you guys are fucking dumb. You didn't do your fucking research. I'm too dumb and poor to build a game.
Sound like a 5-year-old screaming.
Fucking rare.
You said something that upset me.
3 comments in succession. I read it and I'm like, wow, what a salty little emotional baby. And your argument is put in salty, emotional, overdramatic baby territory. Yep. Like people are coming out, Epic Games exclusivity is just like the console war. It's exactly the same. Meh. If it's not on Steam, I won't buy it. I don't buy games that aren't on Steam. Fuck Xbox fanboys. Fuck PlayStation fanboys. If it's not on Steam, I know play though. I know play. Valve best Valve. Gabe Newell.
Fuck you, Gearbox.
Gabe Newell. Fuck Epic.
Fuck you for going to Epic.
That's where your argument gets put, dude. Straight up. In my mind, I emotionally check out and I just go, oh, it's another one of the overdramatic blabbering baby mob idiots on the internet.
And read something, read something and said, I'm going to regurgitate this later.
Yes, and that's what you appear to be. When disingenuously you attack the graphics, disingenuously you leave out the fact that the fucking quality of life has gone up in the fucking campaign, the graphics have gone up in the campaign, the cinematics quality has definitely increased, although they didn't do the angles and the zooms ins or anything, and it's largely
increased.
It's increased because
it's
those
still
character
better.
models.
Yeah, it's still better.
We have 10 times better character models. You can actually tell that a shredder is a goblin in a shredder.
Yeah.
You can see
like
the
it's actually a goblin in a machine. You can see the
goblin up in the fucking rig piloting the thing.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like fucking 0 out of 10. Anyway, I'm running out of shit to say.
Yeah, me too.
Here at the end, I just want to say once again to the people who were involved in this, the parts of it where you can see people cared, thank you. I appreciate being able to replay one of my favorite games in this way with updated graphics. I feel just as privileged as I did when I played Secret of Mana. But on the flip side of that, I'd like to say that it's a shame that other people aren't able to embrace that hard work that you did and that very good job that you did because of the decisions of the higher ups, the stockholders, the fucking directors, whoever the fuck made the call to shit all over the original version. That call should have never been made.
To wipe over it.
You want to remove it from the storefront, that's fine.
You don't want to like maintain servers? Okay, fine.
That's fine.
But to wipe it out completely and mash it in with this.
They should have maintained servers. They should have not touched it. They should have given the player the option to either play Warcraft 3 or Warcraft 3 Reforged. Not an option within game that then locks off the campaign. Like, I should be able to access my fucking save files that I had. My profiles that had played through the goddamn. I shouldn't have to fucking replay the outdated fucking version of your game, which I would never want to do now after all the work you've put into the campaign.
Yeah.
Why in the actual fuck do you think people would want to do that?
To go back and play the classic version.
Why? What is the thought process
That's
there?
why I say they wiped over it.
Dude,
they wiped over it. They literally, they merged the Reforged into the original.
They shot all over it.
And said, no more.
And it's something that has been up for sale for almost a decade. Mm-hmm. It's something, if not, it probably has been. It's been out a long time.
Oh, yeah.
I was still in short pants when your fucking game came out.
Yeah.
So, like, that's the thing. Like, I don't know. I don't know. A 5 out of 10 is what I'd give it. 5 out of 10, and a fucking thank God we're done with this review.
Yeah. I'd give it that, too. 5 out of 10.
If you want your arguments to be understood and felt, do it in a way that they can be that way. Because that's the thing. The only reason I know about all of this stuff is because I started to look up Outrage. I wanted to see what it was all about after I beat the campaign. And at that point, I was still running under the assumption this was all over dramatic babies. Like, straight up. I was just running under the assumption this is just fucking people crying to cry.
Like, there is no valid
This is Jason Schreier,
yeah.
Secret of Mana shit. Then I started to do some digging. Then I saw that I was going to get some example footage of the classic and compare it with the Illidan. So, like, the Illidan and Arthas fight at the end of Frozen Throne. I wanted to compare that. Have that shown for you guys. I can't do that.
Right.
Because they did that. And once I started to look up things, I started to read people who were level-headed that would say, yes, the graphics are a nice change, but here's the reason people are upset.
Yeah.
And explain it calmly and say, this is the thing. They've removed Reign of Chaos rule sets. They've dictated the way that we shall be able to play the game by removing profiles, by removing custom matches, all these things they've done. They basically shit on the modding community to the point where they're just going to take their creativity elsewhere. They're going to say fuck you and walk away.
Yeah.
And it's like, once I understood that, because I was reading it from level-headed dudes who weren't just out to attack any aspect of the game that's good, to further support their narrative. If you have a strong point, you shouldn't have to fucking brush things aside, good things aside. That should not be something you should have to do. And when you do that, like Jason Schreier did, trying to brush them away, you reveal not only your ignorance, but also your stupidity. All right? Because when you talk about they had it already figured out with this game, and this game looks bad, and then I look at the game you compared it to and it looks exactly the same, I'm going to go, oh, well, here's a guy whose opinion I can't fucking trust anymore.
Yeah.
I will never be able to look at this guy review a game and go, oh, well, Jason Schreier is on point and has got a good opinion. You've forever damaged your reputation. Mm-hmm. And like the fucking commenter who commented on my video, questionable graphics, that guy, never be able to trust your opinion. Never give a fuck about your opinion. It will always be discounted. Because you've proven yourself to be not only emotional, but also emotionally invested with hiding the truth. Because the truth is that it's not a 0 out of 10, but that's your truth. And you need that to be your truth. So of course the graphics are questionable to you. I wouldn't doubt it if you played this game, that guy played this game and said, hey, these graphics suck. I wouldn't doubt it. Just because of all the bullshit that he was emotionally tied up in, he could not visually get out of it what we could.
Sit down, calm down, and be like, well, the graphics
There's
look
some
good.
good shit here.
I like how the graphics look. But,
probably didn't even play through the campaign.
Yeah.
Just said, fuck it, refund. I don't want to deal with it. You fucked over this part of the game, so the rest of it is bad.
Yep.
And that's, I don't know.
And
it's a tricky thing. Like I said, I've been that guy. I don't want to ever be that guy again. And like, I feel like when you are that guy, it hurts you.
Oh, yeah.
It hurts you more than just saying, okay, here's the problems. Here's the reason they're problems. Here's my opinion on why it's a 0 out of 10 game. And I'll respect your 0 out of 10. If you're willing to say, oh yeah, the graphics are good, but look here, I'm giving it a 0 out of 10 here because I want them to hurt because of what they did. What they did is anti-consumer. It's anti-fucking gamer. It is fucking unethical. Next level unethical. You want to change your world editor user agreement to where you own everything? Fine. Whatever. But when you actually tell people the way that you've been playing your game and enjoying your game that we sold you years and years ago, you no longer get to do that. That's a big fuck you moment, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why this is a tricky review, and I hope that you guys understand where we're coming from, because we most assuredly understand where the problems are.
Oh,
and
yeah.
where those people are coming from. And I can respect a 0 out of 10 from you. I can. But you got to be able to respect a 5 out of 10 from me. And if not respect it, at least be like understanding of it. At the very least, understand me, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Alright? There's a lot of good work put in here. A lot of people gave a shit. A lot of people cared. And it's apparent to me when I replay this fucking thing and see the updated character models. See the definition changes on like characters. See them differentiated from each other. Because it's like Arthas isn't just Arthas anymore. You know, like the guy looks a little different than Arthas.
Right.
It's like Muradin isn't just Muradin. Like the other guy, he looks a little different.
Mm-hmm.
It's like essentially the same, but they tried.
Yeah.
They tried. They cared, man.
Mm-hmm.
To say they just didn't care and it's crap and it's all bad, it's just like, I don't know. Disingenuous, whatever. And it only hurts you. It doesn't hurt me. Like, when you do that just me, I'm going to go, okay, he's a baby, and I'm not going to care anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you want me to hear you and listen and respect you? Be like the people who are like, hey, this is my side, and this is why it's my side. And explain it. And don't just be like, your side's wrong. That would be me getting on here and saying, yeah, they fucking pissed all over the, people who like to play it online. They pissed all over the modders, all that. But fuck them. I don't care. I don't play that way. I don't enjoy the game that way. So fuck them. They're all stupid.
I think it's awesome and amazing.
Their arguments is stupid. Because you know what? Fuck them. Because if they're saying there's something bad about this game that I enjoyed, the parts that I played, I enjoyed, and the parts that I was maintained for me that I've enjoyed my whole life, those were maintained and brought forward and retouched up with beautiful new graphics. The fuck me, right? Fuck me. because I have positive things to say. Well, fuck you, because you have negative things to say. And then we get nowhere. We get fucking nowhere.
Nope.
Then we get to fucking where Blizzard is now. Because everyone's like, oh, well, Overwatch skins are fucking perfectly fine. And then it ends up making over $1 billion year one off of one game mode, simplified down with a huge art team to fund new skins for you junky fucks to buy. Right? Fuck you. Everyone else, love you. Thank you for coming down here. Hope you appreciate and understand the review. Hope it entertains you. As always, that's all we're trying to do. Inform and entertain. That's all we're trying to do here. That's all our channel's about. So, hope we accomplished that.
Thank you guys. Thank you for watching. Nah.
I've been
that's
rambling on
That's
for
about
fucking
it for
hours.
me. I think that ultimately the biggest shame is this isn't a new property.
Yeah, I'd much rather have a Warcraft 4.
Yeah, this isn't
real.
a new intellectual property that was created from the ground up, and it wasn't built for people to have fun with. And the
It's
last
just a
game,
safe maneuver. It's
and the
exactly
last
like I
game
said
that they did that with was Overwatch. And I have stated for the record personally, I'm not going to buy Overwatch. I'm not enjoying that ever. For me, it's all about single-player content, massive, rich stories that I can get lost into. And
if Overwatch 2 can do that, I might be picking it up.
yeah. But I highly doubt it.
I highly doubt it, too. I'm not expecting much.
If we were to put AI in Overwatch, it'd be a whole new game. I can tell.
It is a new
I
game.
can tell.
Yep, and it is a whole new game
Fucking
now.
lazy assholes.
The amount of money that game's made, I'm telling you, this is a company that's clenching butthole because they're under this fire from like the Hong Kong dude who got removed from the circuit because China basically said, hey, don't let him on there, Blizzard. And Blizzard's like, yes, master. And then there's the Diablo Immortal. There's, it's just Overwatch 2 is being panned by fans. These are the reasons you're getting into this move. This is because they don't want to put the time and effort and talent where they need to. They just want to deliver the, online multiplayer experiences and make billions off of it. That's what they want. They've done it. And their fucking shareholders can't understand why they can't do it anymore. And it's because you just do it for so long, eventually people are going to see through it.
People are getting fed up of your shallow games and your lazy bullshit.
People will, yeah, and that's where you end up with 0 out of 10s, dude.
Yeah.
Because it's not just, I'm sure a lot of those people, it's not just hurt feelings over this, it's hurt feelings over the way WoW is gone.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably hurt feelings over them pulling money out of Hearthstone.
About how the company's gone.
Because Heroes of the Storm,
spiral.
yeah, Heroes of the Storm, like the people working on that is like a skeleton crew now. I wouldn't be surprised if most of those artists were working on this.
Mm-hmm.
This is where most of those artists land. But like that's the that's where it's coming from. I mean, it's probably coming from the place of legitimate anger, legitimate rage. But you need to not be so emotional, guys. It's a game. At the end of the day, and I know that's hypocritical of me to say. I'll go off.
Well, let's be honest. It is an experience that you can get for $30.
The thing about it is, there's no fucking way to justify.
At minimum 40-hour campaign.
There is no way.
There
is no way to justify or defend what they did with Warcraft 3 Classic.
At all.
There's no way.
Mm-mm.
It's indefensible. And that, at the end of the day, is the real raw. Is that they can take your game that you bought a decade ago and they can tell you have to play it like this now.
Yep.
You can't enjoy the same product that we had, and that's Destiny shit, but on a whole other level.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be like if Destiny 2 came out, they fucking wrapped Destiny 1 into it and said, oh, you have to buy Destiny 2 to play now. You have to.
And then you have to go through all of the content of Destiny 1 again.
Or they just do like they do with the Taken King, where they just nerf everything. You get no hard missions or anything. They basically nerf it down. as an incentive for the player to be like, well, there's nothing to do now.
Yeah.
I might as well just give them $40 more for their new expansion.
Mm-hmm.
It's just unethical, dude. There's no call for it. If you got a product that people want that's good, you don't need to resort to trickery like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes your game look weak. It makes Warcraft 3 Reforged look like a weak product when you feel you have to co-op Warcraft 3, because if you don't, then you're not going to have any players. It shows us that, it's because all these moves they made to the online, they understand to be bad. Because if they weren't bad, then they'd feel confident in the fact that people would drop the classic and move to the remaster.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But they didn't. So they shit all over it. There's no way to defend it. But I will defend the hard work of the people who did put a lot of work into this. And I will say that at $30, in my opinion, it's worth it. It's worth it. With all of that on the side, you got to understand all of that. It's fucking inexcusable. That's it for me, Jax. I love you guys. Till next time, stay awesome, stay safe, stay calm, and always try to be better than you were yesterday. That's my goal. I just hope I'm a better man tomorrow than I was yesterday.
That's it for us, everybody. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.